Would you have done that back in your rugby day if someone said, okay, come along and do some breathwork sessions or, do some yoga or something? Would you have been like, yeah, I'm up for it?
Absolutely no chance.
It's interesting, isn't it, that there is that, like, I think it's getting there. And I've seen a lot of my mates that are rugby players, they do quite a lot of yoga sessions and they are trying to implement different aspects of that
we
sort of
did
thing.
Pilates and stuff, and I quite enjoyed that because flexibility wasn't my game.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
It's sneaking it in.
It has been a mindset change, I do believe.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, it's still getting there.
Yeah, it is. It's still a long way to go. But
yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of my journey up to the point where like things became unbearable.
Right.
For me. And then, it was distressing because my ex-wife was incredibly supportive during this time. She was just literally like rock through this entire experience. And, but then I started to, I isolated. Like most men, instead of expressing how we felt, I just locked it in, and I didn't want to burden people with it. If anyone asked me how I was, I would just say, no, I'm fine. But I was bloody far from it, I can assure you.
Yeah.
And because I was just stuck in my head, just going over repetitive thought cycles, so negative, because I had so much, again, it was just about the past and the future.
Yeah.
And what happened was I was never present
Yeah.
because I was just locked in my mind. And it was genuine mental torture.
Yeah.
And to the end when I couldn't deal with it because it was incessant, it was daily, it was the same thing over and over. And we know now, like, because I've done stuff with the charity, that we have anything up to 60,000 thoughts a day, of which...
that's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, 90% of those thoughts are negative and 95% are reoccurring.
Right.
So it's just... if we are in that
Constant.
victim mindset or we're in a really poor state of mental health, you can get trapped. And hell is when you're in your mind.
Yeah.
When you're
100%.
in a bad state of mental health is horrific.
Yeah.
And I found myself in that state for up to about 6 months, to the point where I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, it does just... it's
And
unbearable,
I just thought,
I
like, because of my health, I thought, I couldn't drink. I had a fluid restriction because my
Right.
heart was in such a poor state. And I was on the transplant list. So they said you're only allowed 2.5 liters of any fluid a day.
God,
So I was like, okay, well, slowly it was like 2 pints, 3 pints, because that's the only thing that had worked for me my whole life. Whenever I had a bad day or a bad moment, a good day, a birthday,
you celebrate,
my anniversary,
commiserate.
whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. If we grieve in
It's
someone,
wine.
just get drunk.
Yeah.
And that did the job wonderfully.
Yeah.
So that was it. I couldn't deal. So then to numb or escape, whatever you want to call it, my mode of escape was alcohol. And unfortunately, between 2016 and 2019, I turned to the bottle.
Right.
And I mean, genuinely how I'm here today is a miracle, because for 3 years, I nigh on drank myself to death.